And good afternoon. Welcome aboard the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Yes, day number 9 of our fun and frolic. And a little cold out today, but hot on the sports world. Lots going on we're going to be telling you about. And we're very excited about the opportunity to be here. And, of course, big news since yesterday on a personal note. Again, we've been telling you about how you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Well, since yesterday we mentioned iTunes. Well, Captain Drew and Horace have done it again, and we now are – where are we now, big guy? By the way, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Just fine. Now, you're over there in short sleeves. I'm over here bundled up in my Marshall sweatshirt trying to stay warm, but my man is –
I can't help if you can't stand it.
I'm a sissy.
You're a sissy.
I'm a ninny.
You're a ninny.
I'm a ninny. There you go. I'm a ninny. But anyway, staying warm, and it's all going to moderate. He's over there in a short sleeve shirt, which I may end up for, though, with a little toasty over on this side. But anyway, big news. Tell me, you and Captain Drew have worked your magic. Where are we now?
We are on YouTube.
Whoa. There you go.
So
we're on YouTube.
Just go to YouTube, and in the search bar, just type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and you'll come up. You can go to the Tom Taylor channel.
Awesome.
And subscribe. And we hope to have not just the show on YouTube in a playlist, but we will probably in the near future start putting in events that we live stream through Tom Taylor Productions.
There you go. You and Captain Drew have worked your magic. So I'm just the guy who sits over here and rattles my trap. These guys are the behind the scene. They are my tech guys, and would not be anywhere without either one of these guys, Captain Drew and Horace. So we're now on YouTube, iTunes, we're podcasting.
Through Stitcher.
Told me yesterday we had feedback from some folks listening and way over there on the left coast in California,
we
right?
had some hits from California.
Yeah, where they're going to microchip the bullets. Is that right?
I'm telling you,
the
land of fruits and nuts. Let them try to microchip a bullet in the South here in Tennessee and Georgia.
Am I right? That's what they're going to do?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. That just means ammunition price is going to go up in California.
Yeah. Now tell me, because I'm not real versed in what this means. It means each bullet, I saw this on FoxNews.com yesterday, each bullet they're trying to get law passed in California to put a microchip in each bullet. Is that right?
It's the track.
Each casing?
What happens is each bullet will be recognizable through some sort of microchip. Mm-hmm. You go to the store, you buy a pack of, buy a box of bullets. That box is registered to you that you bought those bullets, and each one of those bullets has a serial number, whatever, on it that's been microchipped. So if it's found in some dead body,
right,
they can pull it out, check it, say, hey,
Horace,
John Doe bought that box of bullets, 2 weeks ago with Joe's Sporting Goods.
Wow. Big Brother's watching, right?
Well, all the time.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I guess they can mandate it on a federal level, but I just don't see it happening in the good old South.
There'll be a big old fight. But, if it goes to the federal level and it starts, I don't know. It's just one more reason to stock up now.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Well put. So, anyway, we had listeners out there on the left coast in California yesterday, and so we welcome you. Thank you for being with us, and we certainly appreciate you listening and watching us in California. NASCAR news is big, of course. Going to be talking to Jeff Birchfield, the sports writer for the Johnson City Press, coming up here in a few minutes. This guy is all about it. Of course, they are getting ready tonight for the Budweiser Duels, and that'll be happening this evening. And that'll be going on the two 60-lap, 150-mile races happening at Daytona International Speedway. Later on in the show, we'll hear from Brad Keselowski. We'll hear from Denny Hamlin. We'll hear from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We're trying to get things turned around at Roush Fenway Racing for Stenhouse Jr. Practice time yesterday. Let me bring that up to you real quick. Let's see what I do with it. I had it right here. Practice time yesterday. Oh, boy. What happened to it? Did it fall on the floor?
I guess you let it fall. I don't know.
I don't guess I need to read it because I know it. The fastest guy yesterday at Daytona in practice. Go ahead and ask.
Kyle Busch.
Bingo. My boy Rowdy rocking up and down the highway. He was the fastest. And also we had a young man by the name of Alex Bowman. Bowman, I just had that. I just wrote this down. What did I do with it? Did it fall on the floor? Anyway, I'll find it here in just a second. Alex Bowman. Young man who, again, finished 13th in the Coke Zero 400 last Daytona 500. Last July at Daytona International Speedway. Again, after starting the race dead last, this young man had a fast practice yesterday. So did Jimmy Johnson. So did Casey Kane. So did Ryan Newman. So did Paul Menard. These guys were the fastest in practice yesterday. And so One of the slower guys did not have a good practice time at all. Was David Reagan. Of course, the big news out of Daytona. One of the big stories: Danica wrecking in practice yesterday. Not guaranteed a spot now for the race. She's got to do well tonight. Will now likely start 21st instead of 15th tonight in one of the qualifying races.
And she has to start from the back of the pack.
Yeah. Top 15 drivers, not including the pole sitter in each of the qualifying races tonight, will earn spots in the Daytona 500. The next 4 spots go to drivers based on qualifying speed. Then there are 7 provisionals, at least 6 based on – I'm already lost. Next 4 spots go to drivers based on qualifying speed. Then there are 7 provisionals to get into the race, at least 6 based on 2014 owner points, and one more if a past series champion doesn't take the final spot in the field. I don't understand.
It's all about the money again. All right,
just line them up and let them go.
I mean, whatever happened to just putting a car on the track, and going as fast as you can, and if you make the speed,
there you go.
You race.
If you're good enough, you're in. If you don't, you stay home.
Right. Provisionals. Give me a break.
Next 4 spots go to drivers based on qualifying speed, and there are 7 provisionals, at least 6 based on 2014 owner points. So it has nothing to do what you did at Daytona down here qualifying or in these 2 races tonight. It's based on owner points from a year ago. One more if a past series champion doesn't take the final spot in the field. Danica, by the way, 30th overall in qualifying speed and 28th overall in 2014 owner points. The owner points will get her into the field in most years, but she would need drivers ahead of her in owner's points to not have trouble tonight for her to get into the field as she is into the top 15. Here's her quote, and I'm right there with her. I'm fairly confused about all this. He said, other than being in the top 15, even without going to a backup car, I just know that I have to race hard, and that's the end of it. So she's confused, and I'm confused. If the drivers are confused, holy tamale. So anyway.
Maybe that's a little motivation for her to show her wares.
Yeah.
Get out there and show really what she can do.
Well, she's going to have to because she's not guaranteed a spot tonight. Now, more than likely, it looks like there's 2 or 3, obviously, possibilities that she can get into the race, but with the drivers' provisionals and the qualifying speed, so on and so forth.
Now, she's Stuart Haas, right?
Yeah.
Tony will work his magic.
So,
watch.
Bottom line, I think you'll probably see her in the 500, but she needs to do well tonight. The other story coming out of Daytona Beach, NASCAR trying to find a happy medium for group qualifying. You know, all the drivers were fussing about the knockout format. Well, they've tweaked it. They've changed the format for the Camping World Truck Series and the Xfinity Series tomorrow and Saturday at Daytona. And so the format announced yesterday has sessions shortened from 5 minutes to 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
The opening round will have drivers split into 4 groups instead of 2. Top 24 on speed will advance to a second round. That group of 24 will be split.
How can you go around Daytona in 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
I knew I was going to get him going. And I'm going, I don't get this. So that group of 24 will be split into 2 groups of 12. First round results determine the groups. Odd place first round finishers in the first group. Even placed in second group. 12 fastest will advance to the final round. This is for the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, again, later on this weekend. Before each session, the group will be lined up single file on pit road instead of being parked on a diagonal, nose first to the pit road wall. Once a driver starts to leave the single file line, he or she is not allowed to stop on pit road.
You know,
it's just way too confusing.
Let me guess. The rule books is the size of our tax returns, too,
right? Absolutely.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, I'm making fun of it to a point, but I mean it really is confusing. Let me read this again.
Oh, and if it doesn't work this week, they'll change the rules and make it work next week.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's just yeah.
Session has been shortened from 5 minutes to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The opening round will have drivers split into 4 groups instead of 2. Then the top 24 in speed will advance to a second round. That group of 24 will be split into 2 groups of 12. First round results determine the groups. Odd place first round finishers in one group. Even place finishers in the second group. 12 fastest will advance to the final round. So I have no clue. I'm like Schultz of Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. So also one more note out of Daytona. NASCAR Hall of Fame nominees to be announced tomorrow. There's going to be 20 nominees for the Hall of Fame, 5 for the Landmark Award for outstanding contributions to NASCAR. Those are going to be the nominees announced tomorrow night. And then May the 20th, they will announce the NASCAR Hall of Fame folks who are going to get in out of that 20 Hall of Famers and 1 out of the group of 5 Landmark nominees. So they will announce the nominees again tomorrow at Daytona. So there you go. College basketball last night.
Hmm.
What a game at Cameron. The Dukies, I should say, in North Carolina, 92-90 in overtime. 72nd time these two teams have played each other, and they both have been ranked at the top 25. Duke's now won 6 in a row, the 23-3. Tar Heels led at 1.67 points late in the game, blew the lead. They're now 18-8. They lost 4 of the last 5. So, of course, the ACC tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. But, man, what a barn burner. 92-90 Duke wins it over North Carolina in college basketball. And that's that big rivalry on Tobacco Road.
Continues.
Oh, yeah. Good ball game. And so Duke comes from behind and called a game over there once at Cameron Indoor Stadium back when I was doing the Citadel down in Charleston. It's pretty funny because the visiting radio, you broadcast up in top, and you actually have to step over one of the steam pipes, and you kind of go out and you're literally kind of hanging out over top of the court. It's a really cool place to call a game. And so I'm watching the Citadel players down there during Christmas break, and all the students weren't there. But I kept watching the players on the bench, and, of course, the fans are right behind you. So I kept watching them do like this, doing this the whole time. Then I got my binoculars, looked in, and there was dark spots on their uniforms. The uniforms are kind of a pale blue on the road. Anyway, make a long story short, some of the student body up behind them were taking squirt guns with ice-cold water, shooting these guys in the back, and they're doing this. And, of course, the whole point was to keep them distracted. They couldn't focus on the game. And so these guys, when they come up off the bench to go in, they had big dark blue splotches where they've been squirted with a squirt. Cold. I asked the guys later on the bus, I said, was it cold? He said, ice cold water. And, of course, you're sitting there, don't know when it's coming. You're doing this the whole time. And I thought, wow. Their home court advantage, of course, they got beat like a drum, the Citadel did. And afterwards went out and had lunch with the Duke players. We all sat in the same place and ate at a restaurant there in Durham. And my claim to fame, I handed Christian Leitner salt shaker.
Wow.
Sitting across from me, and he said,
Thank you, man.
That's my claim to fame.
Thank you very much.
Hey, man, pass me a salt shaker. Okay. So I had a Christian Leitner salt shaker. There you go.
Now, let me say this, too. That game last night
Mm-hmm.
was entertaining and competitive, unlike some other shows that I've watched in the sports arena. I mean, that's what basketball is. You got two clubs on the floor wanting to win, number one, not getting paid for it.
You referencing what particular game or team?
Any of them. I mean, at the college level, the players. Now, I'm not saying it's every team because there's some players out there that are wanting to show their wares so they can make it to the next level of the NBA. But by and large, you go to a college basketball game, the kids are playing because they've got scholarships. They're playing for their education, and they're playing because they want to win. And that mental attitude is totally different than what you're going to find at the next level. And I'm sorry, that's basketball. Now, the officiating, that's another matter, but I'm going to go there.
By the way, while I'm thinking about it, the high school basketball scene today all canceled. So our show is a lot about local sports, but quite honestly, right now everything's kind of frozen. Another cold day here in the region, so all the basketball tournament games have been, again, canceled for today, and they're going to try it tomorrow or into Saturday. And in fact, some of the school systems here have already said, hey, we're out till Monday. We're just going to take the rest of the week off. So some have already said we're closed, obviously, today, and we're going to be closed tomorrow, too. So local sports scene, not a whole lot going on right now, but once it heats up, we're going to be talking a lot about our local sports. And so I just want to let you know a lot of it today will focus primarily on national sports, and understandably so. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, we'll check in Jeff Birchfield, again from the Johnson City Press, our NASCAR beat writer. Also, Mark Willis from Barter, brand new client coming on board. We're excited about that. Also, Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse due to join us a little bit later on, talking the sports books he's got in stock. Also, David Crum, the TWRA. I said, Crum, is there people out there fishing right now? He said, oh, yeah. I said, you've got to be kidding me. He said, oh, no. There's people out there fishing in this kind of weather.
And they're idiots.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry. I love fishing. Don't get me wrong. Got my own boat.
You're a big fisherman.
I'm a big fisherman.
But you wouldn't be caught dead.
But I'm not going to be out there when it's 0 degrees.
No. Wind chills like 10, 15 below.
I'm sorry.
But he said there's people out there, and we'll talk about that with him and other things going on with the TWRA. And also the quiz show. Buzzer's going to join us here in just a few minutes, and we'll see if I can go 5 for 5 today. My contestant will be our good friend.
That's an honor, Miss Buzzer.
I guess I thought you were telling me what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, go ahead. Give it to me one more time.
You want one more time?
Oh, yeah. All right. By the way, Horace came up with some new theme show music for the quiz show. We're very excited about that. The Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance, we have 2 wins. I've won for Halston Brooks. I've won for Mick Fowler. They've gotten free oil changes from American Import and Auto Repair, and also free food from Vito's on Main Street in Kingsport. We'll take a break. Now, before we go to the break, I want to show you that picture. You told me it would work, so I want to do that. And what do I do with it? Here it is right here. Check this out. It's April, baby, but right now it's February, baby. Check out this aerial shot. Great picture on the Johnson City Press Sports section. Here's an aerial shot of Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's see if I can get it up here close enough.
That's close.
Can you see it?
Yeah, they can see it.
That's an aerial shot from a small drone that was up on Volunteer Parkway and took a picture of the world's fastest half-mile.
Covered in snow.
Covered in snow and ice. How about that? But it won't be long. That bad boy will be heating up, and we'll be ready to go with some great racing at Bristol Motor Speedway, taken from a small drone helicopter. That's pretty cool stuff. So, anyway, we've got racing there on April the 19th, and it won't be like that for very long. In fact, this weekend's going to melt away, and they are working feverishly behind the scenes to get the track ready to go for the fans to get to town there in less than 60, 65 days. They'll be rolling our way to the high banks of Bristol. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll check in with Tim Smith from American Import and Auto Repair. He's going to give us a real quick on what to do tonight. This very, very cold weather. It's going to be coming in here, already here, but even colder tonight. How to get your vehicle, make sure it's in tip-top shape and things don't go wrong with your vehicle. Also, right around the corner, Jeff Birchfield from the Johnson City Press. Talk a little NASCAR. And also, as we promised, we'll have for you a little bit later on, we'll hear from Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as we roll on here on day number 9 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom Taylor Sports Show. Now on YouTube, now on iTunes. And so we're moving and growing thanks to Horace and Captain Drew. Let's go to the phone. One of our great sponsors, Tim Smith, American Import and Auto Repair. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Just fine, sir. Just fine. We're going to get ready to play the quiz show in just a few minutes. See if I can win a free oil change for someone from American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City. Cole,
Can I try?
Huh?
Can I try?
No, you can't try. You are ineligible. You own the company, but that's nice try. You trying to work the. Trying to
iTunes and everything. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Just in this is only our 9th show, so yes, we're blessed. This show, of course, is dedicated to the Lord, and He is blessing beyond belief. So thanks.
God is blessing, and you have a lot of talent, so that goes a long way too.
Well, I've got some great guys here helping me, Horace and Captain Drew. So, but anyway, American Import and Auto Repair, they do a fantastic job. Very, very, very cold weather tonight. I know at this point, if you haven't done the things you should, you may be in trouble anyway. But give us a quick reminder, what do we need to do tonight as we're going to be down below zero for some temperatures here in the region?
Well, first and foremost, don't drive. It's cold out. If you can stay at home, stay at home. If you do have to go out and if you do need to get your car taken care of, we're here till 5. There's a few things you need to take care of. Get your car in and get it looked over. Make sure it's safe. Make sure that we'll check the antifreeze. We'll check the battery. We'll check everything to make sure that you'll be safe on the road tonight. Keep a phone. Keep it charged. Keep a number of a shop or an emergency place that you can tow truck or something you can get if you need to. Keep an emergency kit in your car. It should include something like cat litter so it can help you get out or give you traction if you need it. Ice scraper and the de-icer that you put inside the windshield washers is also good as well.
Growing up in the hills of West Virginia, we're talking to Tim Smith. My father used to tell me, boys, when you get in there on a cold morning, don't get there and jump in that car and take off going down the road, because that was 25, 30 years ago. Does that still hold true that you jump into an engine or into a vehicle and start the engine? It's been there all night long. Is that very tough on the engine? Is that still the case?
That's a good idea. Let it warm up a little bit. Let it get going. Get the oil circulating. Get the heat actually starting to go a little bit. You don't want to get out there and have with the thermostat just start, with it closed, getting ready to warm up. It'd be nice to have it a little hot for you and get in there and be able to go.
Absolutely. So it is a good idea to get in there and let it go for a little while. Batteries, obviously get in there and turn that battery and it doesn't go. Get that or the old click, 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 click. You want to come down there. What kind of batteries do you guys put in folks' vehicles from American Import and Auto Repair?
We have had very good luck with AC Delco batteries. They're a very good brand, and they last a long time, not just in American vehicles, in most any vehicle. And tires are also an issue. When you get out here and there's snow and everything, you need some tread on those tires. You don't need them to look like Goodyear racing slicks.
As we used to say back home, the old Maypops. Maypops, they may pop any minute. So
I've seen a few that were wheel pops.
Are they wheel pops? They're not Maypops, they're wheel pop, yeah, or Gonna Pops. Very good. Hey, I appreciate you very, very much. Again, that phone number is 913-3111. Good advice. And the obvious, once this weather gets out of here, your oil, that is the lifeblood of your vehicle. If you're driving around with not enough oil, if you haven't checked the oil, it's low or it's dirty, both of those can really play havoc on your engine. Is that right?
Yes, that's very important to check. Wherever you take your car, if you're thinking about going out, if you have a job that you need to be out in this, stop by and get it checked. Even if you're not one of our customers, come by. We'll check it out. We want you to be safe. We don't want to see you on the side of the road somewhere. We want you to be safe and warm.
West Market Street between Johnson City and Jonesborough. Again, the phone number is 913-3111. Love them to death. They work on my vehicle. American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City. Owner Tim Smith and his lovely bride, Kim. Stay warm, big guy, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
You too. Thank you, Tom.
Yep, great job. Tim Smith, again, appreciate it very much. American Import and Auto Repair. And that's, again, no-brainer, just common sense. Before we go to the break and hook up with Jeff Birchfield again, Kyle Busch, the fastest yesterday in practice, had 2 sessions, 200.776 miles per hour. Jimmy Johnson, Trevor Bayne out of Knoxville, Tennessee. After I heard the interview yesterday, I'm rapidly becoming a Trevor Bayne fan. Guy's a Christian and born-again Christian. That right there seals the deal for me, but He's got a full-time race sponsorship this year and a full ride of the Cup Series. I believe I'm going to lean towards, after Busch, Trevor Bayne. Alex Bowman, young man, 13th last year in the Daytona race in the summer. Had a good run trying to make a name down there this week, and he was one of the fastest guys. Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, Paul Menard, the fastest in practice yesterday. And again, the Budweiser duels are coming up tonight. Again, 60 laps, 150 miles. And again, it's 2 separate races, and that'll set the rest of the field for the Daytona 500. Again, on the front row, as you've known all week long, is Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. Quick break. We'll come right back and check in with Jeff Birchfield, a guy who knows a lot about NASCAR. He's the beat writer for the Johnson City Press here locally. And Jeff Birchfield, who is a plethora of knowledge. Do you like that?
Plethora.
Plethora.
Oh, man. You did learn something coming out of West Virginia.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Of course, you're here in Tennessee now.
There you go. I'm a transplant.
You're a transplant.
There you go. I'm proud of it. Love the great state of Tennessee. Of course, born from West Virginia, no question. There's where I went to school. But I love Tennessee, and it'll take a lot to get me out of this place. I love it, love it, love it. Quick break. Jeff Birchfield will join us coming up next. Thanks for being with us here on day 9 of our Fun and Frolic as you are watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're now on iTunes, now on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and there we be. Can't beat that with a big stick. Also on iTunes, same way. The Stitcher app. Again, yesterday we had listeners and viewers from California, so if you're way out yonder today, thank you. We appreciate that very, very much. Here's a guy who knows a lot about NASCAR. That's why I bring him on all the time. He is a plethora of knowledge, as I said before the break. Jeff Birchfield, the sports writer and the NASCAR beat writer for the Johnson City Press here locally. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Doing well, Tom. How are you?
Well, I'm a little confused. I was telling you during the break, I said I have a college degree from Marshall, and I feel like I'm a fairly intelligent guy, but this new format, they have tweaked it for the Camping World Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, Friday and Saturday respectively. You were telling me it's a little confusing to you. I don't get it. I'm going to read it to you again, and then you can explain it to me because, again, you know more about this than I do. But format announced, sessions shortened from 5 minutes to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Opening round will have drivers split into 4 groups instead of 2. Then the top 24 on speed will advance to a second round. That group of 24 will be split into 2 groups of 12. First round results determining the group's odd place first round finishers in the first group, even place in the second group. 12 fastest will advance to the final round. Now, you cover NASCAR all the time. Does that am I just out there in left field? Is that somewhat confusing?
No, I think you about have to have a doctorate degree from Harvard to understand that they've tried to make things, more exciting for the fans, but I think they've made it so confusing, like you said, trying to keep up with all that. I think the intent of it, if you want to get boiled down to it, is, instead of having guys wait to the very end of the qualifying session and then go out there and play a waiting game by shortening it to the 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It doesn't give them enough time to where they can just wait to the very end of it. And the cars are going to be on pit road, and they've got to stay in a single file line when they go out. So that way it prevents them from playing as many games and stuff as you saw this past Sunday.
So it's a lot of cat and mouse. They're trying to the drivers have figured this out to their advantage, and so NASCAR is trying to pull back and cut out, I guess, the shenanigans, for lack of a better term. But I was reading here on how Danica Patrick, we're going to talk about the fact she wrecked her car. Now, she's not guaranteed a spot. Here's what she's got to do to get in. Top 15 drivers, not including the pole sitter, in each of the qualifying races tonight. We'll get into the Daytona 500. The next 4 spots go to drivers based on qualifying speeds. Then here's where I get confused. There's 7 provisionals, at least 6 based on 2014 owner points, and 1 more if a past series champion doesn't take the final spot in the field. Now, again, being an old country boy from West Virginia, my guess or my thought is, why don't you go to Daytona and qualify on what you did down there today, not what is based on owner points from last year? I mean, I don't get that, but so it's again, I'm confused about it. You think the drivers are confused about that qualifying format as well?
They are a little bit, but I mean, the thing about that is Danica's probably going to get in the Daytona 500 based on, last year's points. I mean, should have to have a few things go wrong for her really to miss it, but I mean, it's a possibility she could, certainly, but I mean, more than likely she's going to make the race just based on last year's points. I can check and see where she finished. I think she's somewhere in the 20s last year in the point standing, so, she should be able to
Didn't you say 28th?
Probably be ahead of, some other guys that come down, say, between her and a David Reagan or somebody like that, where she would probably get the spot ahead of them.
Talking to Jeff Birchfield of the NASCAR beat writer of the Johnson City Press. I think she finished 28th in points, a year ago. And so she has to do well. Folks, going into the qualifying tonight, Gordon obviously wants to stay out of trouble. To me, it's a recipe for disaster because you're up there on that pole. If you wreck, you go to the back of the field on Sunday. So if you're Jeff Gordon, having won the pole earlier in the weekend or earlier in the week, you just want to ride around and stay out of trouble? Is that kind of your mindset out there tonight?
I think it would ordinarily be, but I think Jeff Gordon this year, he's trying to just have such I think he's trying to make every week so memorable, and I think I think he would love to go down there and win one of these duels this last year, in the series. I think he won one of the duels like his first year in 1993, and so, I'm sure he'd like to cap off with another duels win tonight. So I look for him to really go after it and try to win the thing tonight.
Talking to Jeff Birchfield again, the NASCAR beat writer for the Johnson City Press here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And, folks, you feel like we've got a legitimate chance. I guess everybody has a chance, but kind of narrow things down. Who do you feel like really has a shot to win this thing this weekend?
Gordon, I think, has a better shot than some of the past years. I think he does have a good race car. I think, obviously, starting on the front row with him, a lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but I think Jimmy Johnson obviously got to be one of the favorites. But then Matt Kenseth, won the Sprint Unlimited, and Matt Kenseth, the recent years, has been really, really good at Daytona. I know he won the 500 back in 2009 and 2012.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking here. There's a couple of guys that are going to be in the field this year that have won twice. Of course, Junior in 04 and last year. Jimmy Johnson, 2006, 2013. You mentioned Kenseth, 09 and 2012. Harvick won it in 07. Ryan Newman won it in 2008. Jamie McMurray, here's a guy I haven't talked a whole lot about. He won it in 2010, and Trevor Bayne in 2011. Would these guys be considered favorites given the fact they've won it before?
Well, I think Jamie McMurray is the guy you mentioned, and he's developed a new nickname as car owner. Chip Ganassi gave him the Big Game Hunter. He was part of that winning team of the 24 Hours of Daytona just a couple of weeks ago, joining A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti as the only 2 drivers that won the 24 Hours and won the Daytona 500. And then, Jamie always performs so well in those big races and always runs really well at Daytona. He's won the 400 also in July. He's just really good restrictor plate driver, understands the strategy and all that. Of course, Junior, his restrictor plate skills are, very, very good. I think a lot of people, know that. And also Kevin Harvick, the defending series champion. He's another former champion I think you really have to look at pretty strong.
Talking to Jeff Birchfield again, the NASCAR beat writer of the Johnson City Press. Psychologically, how big is this race? It kind of sets the tone for the year. So if you go down and have a good run, does that kind of set the tone on a positive note for all these teams and these drivers and the crew members? If you go down there and kind of louse it up like Clint Boyer did early in the week when he had that wreck, he's been mad ever since. So I guess my question to you is, how big psychologically is the Daytona 500 to set the tone for the rest of the 2015 season?
I think it's huge. I think you saw that last year with Dale Jr., you know. I mean, he won the Daytona 500 and then went and had his best season overall in a decade, you know. So, I mean, I think it's really huge for that. On the other hand, there have been guys. I know Tony Stewart actually finished last in the Daytona 500 one year and then came back and actually won the championship that season. But I think, you know, more often than not, if you have a really great run at Daytona or win the Daytona 500, you know, it sets you off well for the rest of the year.
What kind of shape is Tony Stewart in right now physically? I know we know what happened last year, the tragic situation he was involved in. Physically, another surgery on that leg in December. So is this guy ready to go for the grueling races all season long? He says he is, but what's your take on that?
Well, he's walking a lot better than last year. You know, when he came to Bristol, even you could see him really limping quite severely there in March for the Food City 500. And, you know, this year I was on the NASCAR media tour, and he seemed to be getting along a lot better as far as just his walking and all that. You know, mentally, you just don't know where Tony is right now, though. I mean, he's had a tough year. Obviously, you know, the stuff he went through and, you know, stuff he was involved in. And then also, you know, it's the first time in like 15 years that he failed to win a race, you know. So beyond all the, you know, stuff that happened, I mean, he's not getting any younger. And, you know, it's definitely a point of his career. You wonder if he can bounce back from everything or not.
Of course, he's been in controversy as a driver. Now he's in somewhat of a controversy as the owner, given the fact that Kurt Busch is still kind of waiting to hear what's going to happen with him. And what do you think is going to happen? How do you think that's all going to shake out with Kurt Busch? And do you think he'll still get, even this close to the Daytona 500 on Sunday, still going to get the green light from the folks to let him drive? What do you think?
I think he'll probably have the green light on Sunday, but I think if criminal charges do come out against Kurt Busch, you know, I would dare say that he's probably done in NASCAR, just to be honest with you.
And then a contingency plan. They've said, Stewart-Haas Racing said we have a backup plan. Have you heard what that is? Have you heard what driver they may tap on the shoulder and say, hey, Busch is out, we want you in the seat?
To be honest, I haven't heard which driver that's going to be. You know, you would think maybe with Chase Elliott going to run some races next year. I know he's got a limited schedule, but, you know, there's possibilities they might get him in the car a little bit. Also, Tony's always had a really good relationship with Richard Childress, and Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon's younger brother, he could possibly wind up in there in a few races.
So you think if Busch is convicted in a criminal court, in the criminal charge, I should say, that his racing days will be over?
I think it will be. I mean, I think NASCAR, you know, just from a PR standpoint, you know, I mean, we saw what the NFL went through with the Ray Rice situation, and I don't think NASCAR wants to you know, go through anything like that.
There you go. Hey, great report, my friend. Thank you for checking in with us. We'll check in with you next week. You're going to be a weekly guest if you want to be, because you're awesome. And stay warm, and I'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right. I appreciate the time. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Jeff Birchfield, again, we're now on YouTube and also on iTunes, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And, again, appreciate him very, very much. Jeff Birchfield, sports writer of the Johnson City Press. Quick break. We'll come right back. Can we do it? Can we go 5 for 5 with the quiz show? We're playing for my buddy Pete Tackett, the pastor of Antioch Baptist Church, and we'll see if we can get a 5 for 5. What do you think? You feeling good about today? You feeling in your bones? You feel a 5 for 5?
You do better with buzzer, so it's a possibility there. I think you may go 5 for 5.
That's what I want to hear. Good. That's what he said. He sent me a text last night and said, my family's depending on this for the oil change and the free food from Vito. So I said, okie dokie. So we'll do that coming up next. Again, thanks for being with us. You are watching, listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance, because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident?
What's up?
The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org. At FCA,
thanks for being back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show
heart at a
again.
time.
Make sure you like
Since
us on Facebook
1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world.
I don't know what happened. It didn't stop on time.
All right, well, that's okay. Stitcher app, is that what you call it?
Yeah, go to your Android phone or your Apple, makes no difference. Go to wherever you get your apps and download the Stitcher app. And it's as easy as that. And once you install it, just type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and it'll pop up, and there you are. And iTunes is even easier. Just go up to the right-hand corner to the search bar, put in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and the podcast will appear.
There we go. And also YouTube. Just go to YouTube. And
YouTube, do the same thing in the search bar, just Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Woo! Pretty exciting stuff. That's just in day 9 of our get-together. Let's go to the phone. She's there. The Queen of Jonesborough, the Buzzer ladies in the house. Good evening, or good afternoon, young lady. How are you?
I'm doing good, Tom. Good evening, afternoon to you.
Yeah, I know. It's been one of my brain's frozen with this cold weather. By the way, coming up, we're going to hear from Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Buzzer and I are big Kyle Busch fans. Fastest guy yesterday in practice at Daytona. Guess who it was? Hello?
Uh-oh. This happened last time.
Yeah.
She's in Jonesborough.
Are you there? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We had to call her back last time.
Yeah. Go ahead and
we're going to have to go landline from now on with her. So, oh, boy. All right. Live radio. Live internet, rather. All right. We're going to from here on up. I think from here on out we're going to do landline. So, anyway.
I couldn't. I was connected, but you weren't. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, this happened before in the old radio gig, too, so we may have to get you a landline from here on in. But anyway, Kyle Busch, the fastest yesterday down at Daytona. I know that pleased you, does it not?
It does. I'm very excited. I've been following, the NASCAR updates and understand our girl Dana Cash. She's already, caused another wreck. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, she did. She caused another one, and that's not good. So, of course, the duels are tonight. Daytona 500 on Sunday. We have a new quiz show theme. Horse, let's hear this. This is really good. I like this. I love it. There you go. That's good stuff. You got to be the very first recipient of the quiz show theme. Brand new. How about that? Did you like that?
That's exciting, Tom. It's a catchy little tune.
It is a little catchy. I like a little, I like that little, it almost sounds like a buzzer. So here we go, playing 5 for 5, we hope. And again, our contestant today is Pete Tackett, pastor of Antioch Baptist Church. He's listening, and he Facebooked us yesterday, so he's in. And buzzer, here we go. Let's see if I can go 5 for 5. Take it away.
Okay, it's Black History Month, February, Tom, so I'm centering all my questions around that.
Okay.
The Jonesborough Yarn Exchange has a performance this Monday coming up, honoring that month, and you can also listen on ETSU's radio station for that as well. Okay, so the very first newspaper solely dedicated to the abolitionist movement was published in Northeast Tennessee. True or false?
Yes, in Jonesboro. That is true.
Way to go, Tom.
There you go. Hit that bell. Woo! 1 for 1. All right. Number 2.
Number 2, the Emancipator newsletter was written by John Sevier.
The Emancipator newsletter was written by John Sevier. Something tells me that's not true. The Emancipator newsletter was written by John Sevier. I will say that's false.
Final answer?
That is the final answer, yes.
Way to go, Tom.
Yes, thank you. 2 for 2. Who wrote that, by the way?
It was actually by Elihu Embry in Jonesboro.
That's what I thought. I knew it wasn't John Sevier. Okay.
Number 3.
2 for 2, playing for Pete Tackett.
Mr. Embry
Right.
was a slaveholder.
True or false? Mr. Embry was it Embry? Is that what you said? Was a slaveholder.
Go ahead and say it again. I had you turned down.
Mr.
Okay,
Embry.
Mr. Embry was a slaveholder. True or false?
True or false? Mr. Embry was a slaveholder. That will be true.
Very good.
Woo! I'm 3 for 3. I'm feeling good about myself.
He set his slaves free in 1812 and then went on to write the Emancipator newsletter. Number 4, the Emancipator in Jonesboro had 500 paid subscribers in the 1800s. These were throughout Tennessee and Kentucky. True or false? 500 paid subscribers.
500 paid subscribers throughout Tennessee and Kentucky. So we're looking for the number 500. I have no clue, Buzzer. This is going to be a helpline horse. You want to say go for it?
50-50, big guy.
Thank
Flip
you.
a coin.
Thank you. 500 paid subscribers. I'll go true.
I'm sorry, Tom, that's false.
Oh, good grief. What was the number?
The Emancipator had 2,000 subscribers at that time, which rivals publications today.
Okay, 3 for 4. So Pete's going to starve and not get free oil in his car. Okay, go ahead. Let's do number 5.
All right, let's end strong. Number 5. The Emancipator ceased to exist after Mr. Embry moved further west to promote his cause.
I'll go true.
That's false.
Okay, well, that's fine. Okay. Hit that.
Sorry, Tom, but Mr. Embry actually died at age of 38 after a battle what would now be considered typhus, so he had no one designated to take over the publication.
Wow. All this happened in and around Jonesboro for Black History Month. Very good. Hit the theme show music, horse. This was, oh, boy. Here we go. There's the ding. Here comes the buzzer. There you go. Not good. So, anyway, 3 for 5. Did not do well. Anyway, we'll try it again next Thursday. What's going on this weekend? What's happening in the oldest town in Tennessee?
Well, Tom, it's a snowy weekend, so a lot of things have been canceled, but we're looking forward to Monday the 23rd. Like I said, the Yarn Exchange will be honoring Black History Month. So a lot of the questions that I asked you today will be centered around their radio show that they perform live at the Storytelling Center on Monday. If you can't listen in or come to the performance, you can listen wherever you are from the computer at WETS, which is ETSU, our college radio station.
There you go. So went 3 for 5. Tell me about the new restaurant in Jonesboro right now.
Well, the newest restaurant that we have in Jonesboro has an interesting name. It's called Hillbilly Butts. They do have barbecue briskets as well and ribs, and I think they're doing a little bit of breakfast. So we're looking forward to having them in town. I know they have some big plans. I've tried it out. It's very tasty.
You and I are going.
We're going to Hillbilly Butts. Road trip. Horace and I are going to Hillbilly Butts to have some What did you get on the entree that you liked?
Well, I had barbecue that day, and they give you like a hot or a sweet sauce, and you can definitely tell the meat is that they cook it right outside. It was tender and juicy and a little bit of pink in the center, so it made a really good sandwich.
They are physically located where in Jonesboro?
They are located on the Jackson Boulevard or 11 Highway. They're right across the jail, actually, in Jonesboro. So it's in the Uncle Dan's gas house, so it's like a vintage-style gas station.
So this is Hillbilly Butts, the newest restaurant in the oldest town in Tennessee. Is that correct?
That's right, Tom. So when you all get out of jail, you can come on over to the barbecue place with me for lunch.
There you go. We'll have to do that one day. We'll have to come down and have lunch. Horace and I and you will sit down at the Hillbilly Butts and have lunch. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. Is that everything going on in Jonesboro this week for right now?
What's that?
Is that everything going on right now in Jonesboro?
That's it for for now. You know, we did have Carson Peters coming up on Saturday, but that's unfortunately been canceled to the weather. He is that 10-year-old who is amazing with a fiddle, been known throughout the nation. He was on the Tonight Show recently, but we'll look forward to hosting him again later when the weather can cooperate with us.
All right, there you go. Great report. Again, thanks for making me look bad. Went 3 for 5, and we'll do it again next Thursday, all right?
My pleasure.
All right, go Kyle Busch, right?
That's right.
Go Rowdy. Again, Alicia Phelps, Director of Tourism, Town of Jonesborough. Appreciate her very much. Again, checking in with us, and went 3 for 5 on Black History Month. And, man, I thought I was cooking. The 500 subscribers got me, and then after he got sick and that he passed it on to somebody else, do that newsletter, and he did not. I thought he did. So, no, actually moved away. He had nobody else take the place. So, went 3 for 5, but didn't go well. So, guess we'll play for Pete tomorrow.
Sorry, Pete.
Yeah. Play for Pete tomorrow again. We'll try again tomorrow, see if we can't get him into the winner's circle. So we stand at Quiz Show wins at 2, and the Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance scoreboard, and so not today. Speaking of Bracken, 323-8726 is the number to call. Again, now's the time. You say, Tom, it's cold outside. It's February, precisely. Now's the time to get on the old list for Tom to come around, Tommy in the little yellow truck, and do a quote. 323-8726. The quote stands for the duration. It's not like it's only good for 2 weeks. It'll be there for a while. So if you're looking to get your driveway sealed, if you need some paving done, need some striping done, he can take care of either one of those because he represents 2 companies, Bracken Paving and Bracken Asphalt Maintenance at 323-8726. And we were talking the other day where he actually can put just about anything down, even a smiley face, on somebody's driveway in Johnson City. You're looking at getting some yellow striping down the edges of your driveway.
I don't know, but we'll think about that.
Yeah. Did she say anything about that? Because you referenced.
She hasn't said a word.
Maybe she didn't hear. Talking about his lovely bride, Mrs. V. So
she needs a stop sign in the garage. What she needs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she knows where to stop.
Oh, we get a little close to things.
Sometimes.
Oh, a little tight in the garage.
Yeah. But she knows that. She's working on it.
Yeah. Now, she was a little stressed out today because her crossword puzzle.
Oh, man. Chelsea Press was late, didn't show up on time. And what'd they do? They put the same crossword and jumble word puzzle that they had yesterday.
2 days in a row.
Yeah.
So that got her all stressed out.
Yeah, she's stressed.
Bless her heart. All right. What's the tough life we live? You know you're having a bad day when the crossword puzzle's the same as yesterday. So, Mrs. V, she's awesome. That would be his better half. Let's check in now. Again, NASCAR cranking up tonight with the Budweiser duels. And, again, if you go back to look at the 2014 points, which we'll run down here real quick and tell you from a year ago, Brad Keselowski finished 5th in points. Interestingly enough, I've forgotten about this. Harvick only won the championship by a single point. Yeah. He had 5,043. Rocket Ryan Newman, 5,042. Denny Hamlin was 3rd. Joey Logano 4th. Brad Keselowski 5th in points. And so question was posed to Keselowski was, how would you summarize 2014 racing season for Brad Keselowski?
I know I had a lot to learn. I'm still learning. I think that's one of the keys to life is to never feel like you're done learning. But, yeah, I would say I probably had a year where I didn't learn much in 2010. And then 2011 and 12, I learned a lot. So, you know, I don't know if it's always steady. Sometimes it kind of goes up and down and at different rates. But I would say one of the keys to my success, nonetheless, has been constant growth.
Has it always been on you, or do you ever seek others out for?
Oh, I'm not afraid to ask others for help. That's for sure. But I think at the end of the day, it is on me to figure it out.
Brad, as far as the crop of young guys coming in, do you think that they have a whole lot different than what you came in?
Oh, geez. You know, every driver has their own story, so it's really not fair to say if anyone's like me or not like me. I mean, you would assume they're not like you. But, you know, I think each generation's different too. And, you know, there's a little bit of a infusion of, you know, new drivers, new talent, but it's relatively small. At least those that have been successful and are winning races and, you know, starting up front and doing the things that we attribute to success. So of them, you know, I think, you know, Kyle Larson comes to mind, and probably Austin Dillon, and certainly I'm a lot different than they were. So I guess that kind of answers itself.
And as far as what's your best advice for a young guy?
Learn to golf. Pays a lot better.
Brad, what can you define what it's like to be strapping in for the Daytona 500? Like for the fans that are watching at home, or like what's the feeling? Can you put it to words what it's like inside to strap in and get ready to go?
Well, I mean, I try really hard, Claire, to make it not feel like a big deal. I try really hard when I'm getting in the car before the start of a race to make it feel like just another day. And, I think that helps put you in a mental spot where you can make the best decisions, which certainly aren't when you're full of adrenaline and hyped up. For me, on a good day, it just feels like another day, Claire.
Do you remember the first time you strapped in for the Daytona 500?
Oh, yeah, 2010. And, I just remember all the people on pit road and all the people in the grandstands and thinking to myself, I'm finally getting to do this. This is really cool.
Was your heart beating? I mean, you feel it or not?
A little bit the first few laps, yeah. And then I blew a tire out on lap 4 and wrecked. Wasn't fun.
That was Brad Keselowski again. He'll roll off tonight. Again, finished, as we said last year, 5th in points. Keselowski will start today in the 9th position. That first of the two Budweiser duels starting at 7 o'clock tonight at Daytona Beach. Some of the guys in that first race, 60 laps, 150 miles. Gordon, Kenseth, Casey Kane, Jamie McMurray, Trevor Bayne, Keselowski, Logano, Menard, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart. Wow, that's a heck of a lineup in there. Kyle Larson, as we mentioned, Clint Bowyer, Justin Marks, Cole Whitt Jr. In this first race, you've got winners Gordon, Kenseth, Bayne, Harvick, and Jr. All have won the Daytona 500. They'll be in that first lineup. The dual ones, again, 60-lap, 150-mile event. Tonight they'll be the first of two, and the Budweiser duels happening at Daytona International Speedway. Our verse of the day, by the way, again, our show is dedicated to the good Lord, and our verse of the day comes out of Psalm 73, verses 23 through 26. I am with you always. Wow. I will always be holding your hand. Wow. I will guide you with my counsel. I will take you into my glory. I am the strength of your heart and your portion forever. That's the big guy. God says, I am with you always. Period. End of story. I will always be holding your hand. Period. End of story. I mean, what more do you need? I will guide you with my counsel, take you into my glory. I am the strength of your heart and your portion forever. Of course, this show is dedicated to the one that hung on the cross for all of us, and so we like that, and we unashamedly tell you that each and every show. Our thought for the day, by the way, brought to you by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Love this. This came from Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
Yeah. The most pathetic person in the world, given, of course, you know all about Helen Keller. The thought for the day, the most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but has no vision.
Ooh, that's deep.
That is deep. That is very deep. What could be worse than being born without any sight? Vision is non-negotiable for anyone who wants to succeed. It is the blueprint on the inside of a leader before he ever sees the plan on the outside. It is the blueprint on the inside of a leader before he ever sees the plan on the outside. The thought for the day again, the most pathetic person in the world is one who has sight but has no vision. You don't have a game plan, don't have a dream, don't have a game plan. That's pathetic, and that's true. You got to have a vision. This show has been a vision for, gosh, I've been sitting around thinking about doing this for 2 or 3 years, and I thought I'm going to jump out here and do it, and had a little vision, had some sight, and the rest is history. We're now on iTunes, we're now on YouTube. It's now a podcast, Stitcher. And also, we'd love for you to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Tom Taylor Sports Show.
And, of course, if you're listening to us right now, you are on livestream.com.
Livestream.com, absolutely. Hour number one's in the books. Time for hour number two. That means it's time for the theme show for our show, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hit it, big guy. Let it roll. Let's see what we got here.
Theme show music?
Let it go on a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Boom. And we welcome you to hour number 2 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Bracken Asphalt Maintenance. Right up here, also Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, the #1 farmers insurance agent in 5 states at 247-5400 is the number to call. A proud card-carrying member of Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, an automobile, and does a fantastic job. I think I've told you the story before on the show last week where I got T-boned going to work. It's been, 7 or 8 years ago now, and ended up totaling the car. And I called him that morning at about 5:30 driving to work and said, hey, he said, this better be good. Get me up at 5:30. And I told him what happened. And by 9 o'clock that morning, which was, 3.5 hours later, thereabouts, I had a rental car. And that's not just because I promote him at that point on the radio, now here on the Internet, but just because that's what he does for everybody. Customer service. 247-5400. We'll try and have him on tomorrow and talk a little about his business. He's one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Also brought to you by the good folks from Cherokee Barbershop. We'll talk about the Gator Man.
I'm going to go see him after a while.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
Going to get your ears lowered?
Ears lowered and get my shave.
A little trim?
Yeah.
Put them hot towels on your face?
Yeah. Got somewhere to be tonight, so I got to look pretty.
Oh, all right. We got on a cold night, got a hot date with Mrs. B.
Not a hot date. It's something we got to do, though.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have to go pay your respects. I forgot about that. Funeral home, so you got to look nice for that tonight.
Yep.
Going to go let Gator spiff him up at the old Cherokee Barbershop. Also brought to you by Bracken Asphalt Maintenance, we said. Also by Vito's, Max Medicine Mart. Also Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics coming on board. And also Book Lovers Warehouse, who we'll talk to coming up here in a little while. If you're looking for used books and a used book store, and 6,000 square feet, over 200,000 titles. And there's a huge sports section. There's a huge NASCAR section at Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. We'll talk to Bob about that coming up here in just a little while. If you missed it earlier in the show, let me go ahead and show this to you one more time. This is an aerial shot of the world's fastest half mile. Snow covered right now, but it'll be hot and ready to go come April the 19th, which is when you can get your tickets for it. 5 days of racing at the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway. 3 days in April, 2 days in August, $149 a ticket. Plus, it gets you access to get your Battle of Bristol football tickets for Virginia Tech and UT. Plus, it also gets you access to the Super Pass, the Old Crow Medicine Show. Ho, listen to them last night. Those guys.
I'm going to have to pull them up on iTunes.
Yeah.
I just can't remember. I mean, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
But I just can't remember.
From a musical standpoint, I would say these guys are tight. They are very tight. And they are dynamite good. 2-time Grammy Award-winning group is going to be the pre-race concert, the Food City 500 on April the 19th. And so that $149 ticket will get you access to a Super Pass, get you down stage side to watch the show. Also get a chance for you to be around in and around the Food City 500 driver intros. And also you get a track walk. So all that will get you with a $149 ticket, 5 days of racing. So you got your tickets locked up for the year. You don't have to worry about it.
That's the only way to do it, man. Get it done.
Because get her done. You know, come August, they're going to be in high demand for those tickets. So
night race is always high demand.
Yeah. And this package gets you tickets for the April 19th race. Carl Edwards back to defend his crown in that one. And also the fall race, Joey Logano back to defend his crown in that one. Plus the Battle of Bristol ticket access and the Super Pass. So give them a call, 423-BRISTOL, and you have been, and or BristolTix.com. So either way, you can do that. And, again, check them out at Bristol Motor Speedway. Also, now you're a creative young man.
I am?
Oh, yeah. So now I am? That's good. Get some taters. There you go. All right. We have the opportunity, you and I or anybody, have the opportunity to design the iconic trophy awarded to the winner of the first football game, the historic game, I should say, Battle of Bristol. The full contest rules can be found at bristolmotorspeedway.com/battle trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So we can sit down and design the trophy they're going to present to the winner of the Tennessee-Virginia Tech football game next September. Anybody can. It started on February the 5th. We have until March the 6th, so we have several weeks left. Entries will be organized by Bristol Motor Speedway to determine the top three. Will go up on bristolmotorspeedway.com for fan voting. So there you go.
Will this be a recurring trophy?
I don't know. One would think, but there's going to be one for sure.
We know there's going to be one.
There's going to be one. So in addition to bragging rights, you'll also receive a free trip to the Speedway race weekend, the September 2015 trophy unveiling event. They're going to do it later on this year. Tickets to the Battle of Bristol in September 2016, other prizes. So, again, you can go to battleofbristol.com or go to Bristol Motor Speedway /battle trophy and get the contest rules. We can sit down with crayons and number 2 pencils and go to town designing the trophy. The Battle of Bristol Trophy Design Contest for football's largest game. That'd be really cool to say.
You know there's going to be a bunch of ETSU students over there that are in the graphics design department. They're going to be all over this.
I'm sure. And really, graphic design artists in a lot of colleges around here, not just ETSU, but you're exactly right. Those can be really creative. Wouldn't that be cool to say, hey, I designed the trophy for the biggest football game ever? Yeah. That would be really cool.
And something tells me that's going to be a good ball game.
Oh, absolutely. Tennessee's coming, and and the Hokies had a really good recruiting year, and so ticket sales, Tennessee's already sold all their allotment of the tickets they gave to University of Tennessee. Virginia Tech, I think I was told right around Christmas they're very close to selling out their allotment, and so the Hokies and Frank Beamer and the Vols and just went blank. First name is?
For who?
Coach Butch Jones.
Yeah, Butch Jones.
Kept wanting to see Davy. He was in the Monkees, Davy Jones. Gosh, don't tell him I said that. I kept thinking Jones. That's what I had a brain burp. Not Davy Jones.
Butch.
Butch
Jones.
A
manly football name
there. You go.
Come on.
There you go. I'm sorry. So that was a brain freeze. So anyway, one more time, go to that website, Bristol Motor Speedway, and then /battle trophy, or go to battle@bristol.com. Either one, you can find out more about that. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We'll check in Mark Willis, a brand new sponsor. Better Barter. Neat way for you to get out there and work and do things by barter, which is one of the ways this country was discovered. If you remember, there's an argument in Tennessee, the oldest town in Tennessee, some say Jonesborough, some say Trade, up on the Tennessee-North Carolina border. You now got its name, obviously. You would pull in there, or not pull in.
It was just a shack on the border. That's all
right.
That was. If it wasn't incorporated, it's not a town.
All right, a little shack on the border, Horace says, and you would come in. And I would trade beaver pelts for this, and so that was called bartering, and that's what this still does with Mark and Better Barter. And he's going to join us. Also coming up this hour, Denny Hamlin. We'll find out about Denny, what it's going to take to win a Daytona, and also Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who he thinks can win the Daytona 500 this year as well. So those gentlemen will be joining us between now and the top of the hour. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll check in with Mark Willis as you are listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance, because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, hello, California. Found out yesterday you're listening to us in California. Had about 10 listeners there listening to us and watching us. Thank you. We're now on iTunes. We're now on YouTube. Go to YouTube and just type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and there we be. Also, iTunes up in the right-hand corner in the search. Type us in, and there we be. Also, in the Stitcher app. And right now you're watching, listening to us on livestream.com. So 4 ways to do it, plus podcasting. So we're out there in social media, thanks to Captain Drew and Horace, and we're very excited about that. So now you can check us out on YouTube. Let's go to the phone. Really cool concept. I'm involved in this. I'm a proud card-carrying member of Better Barter. And with us is Mark Willis, the gentleman who runs it here locally. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
Just fine, sir. We appreciate you checking in with us. Tell folks out there what Better Barter is all about and how we can get involved.
Well, Better Barter is a business-to-business barter exchange. We have a couple hundred members here of businesses locally that are trading a couple $1 million back and forth with each other each year. We also have thousands and thousands of other businesses across the country we trade with.
And so you can do that, and it's very easy to do. How do we get signed up, and what all is involved? And give me some product categories. Give me some examples.
Well, we've got, I like to tell people what I trade for. I get my hair cut, my eyes examined, my teeth cleaned, my yard mowed, my house cleaned, my vet cleaned. All my vehicle maintenance is on trade. I've been to Niagara Falls on trade, been to Florida. Just almost everything. You can't get gasoline and groceries on trade, but many, many other things. I got granite countertops in my kitchen, my bathrooms on trade. Got carpet for my den, tile floor for my kitchen. Just a large variety of different businesses. We have metal roofing. We have hot tubs. We have, particularly this time of year, those hot tubs are sort of nice to sit out there in about 105-degree weather when it's zero. That's the only way to be outside, is to be sitting in a hot tub. But it's really just limited by your imagination. We're constantly looking for, new plumbers, heating and air people, restaurants, about every business categories that we have a spot available right now. So someone could call me, our office, on my personal cell phone at 423-773-6887, and I'd be happy to meet with them and go over our program and show them all the businesses that are members.
Yeah, you can do that as an individual or as a company. So if you're a company out there and would like to get involved, just give them a call, 773-6887, or an individual can sign up. And you were talking about things. I know carpeting in my home here, I put in new carpeting and some new bathroom tile in my home thanks to Better Barter. A lot of the restaurants I've gone to here in the Tri-Cities that serve fantastic food are with Better Barter. So it's a really cool way to do things, and you are growing by leaps and bounds. You had a great 2014, did you not?
We did. We had one of our best years ever. Thank the good Lord for that. We have certainly been blessed. You do, the only one requirement is you do have to have something to trade. You have to have a product or service that you can offer the other members to trade. That's the only way that we can promote what people do. So, if you're a plumber, then we promote your plumbing services. We guarantee our clients new business, and we save them money on the things they buy. So nothing wrong with either one of those.
No, it's a great concept. And, again, I'm a proud card-carrying member myself, and we're going to utilize these airwaves to do the same coming up very soon.
We currently have certainly openings for any retail-like location. Flooring is a big category. Roofing material, roofers. I have business for a roofer right now that we could send them business. Some of the clients we have locally, we have the Johnson City Country Club. We have Cartridge World. We have Line Metal Roofing. We have LPI, which manufactures tanning beds, hot tubs, pool tables, four-wheelers, ATVs. We also have 3 granite countertop companies. So we got auto parts, auto repair, a good variety of restaurants. Just went and got my haircut on trade at Sports Clips in Johnson City. So you're able to buy things without paying cash for it. That's the main key, is that you're able to trade for it and conserve your cash for other things.
There you go. If you're interested, you can give him a buzz at 773-6887. Of course, as he said, you have to have something you can put out there for folks to services they can use. That's why you do the trade and the Better Barter, of course. 773-6887, and we're looking forward to having him on a regular basis. Mark, appreciate you very much. Stay warm, my friend. I'll talk to you very, very soon, all right?
Okay, thanks a lot, Tom.
Yeah, super job. Mark Willis, again, who heads up Better Barter, and, again, it's, a couple of the places I've taken you to eat have been Better Barter. Just pull out the old card, and they write it up and give you a dollar amount. One of the places I'm going to brag on them for just a second, Phil's Dream Pit.
Phil's Dream Pit's
there
good.
You go. Yeah, they're on Better Barter, so I've been out there. In fact, we're due to go back out there. The little one's over here going, we need to get back out there. So look at that grin. We'll have to get her back out there.
Did you know pork have wings?
Pork have wings? Oh, no. Tell me about that. Pork have wings.
Phil's Dream Pit, pork wings.
Really?
Yes. They melt in your mouth.
They have pork wings.
That's what he calls them.
Really?
Yeah. You don't remember that?
No. I don't know. I must have been asleep at that deal.
I think you were, because I had him. I was chomping on them right across from you.
Well, but you chomp so much, it's just another chomper. You know what I'm saying?
Pork wings, good.
I did not know that. So that's one of the things you get at Phil's, a Better Barter.
It's like Buffalo. They got wings, too.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's my boy. Go ahead and hit it.
Oh, that's the show theme.
Hit the wrong button. There you go.
Well, we'll get it later.
Yeah. Boy, that's nice. No, I'm not the only one who hits those wrong buttons. Last week, I'm taking that away from you because you don't hit those right buttons. And so now, go ahead. I'll wait you out. Give me a drum roll. Thank you very much. There you go. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Thanks for being with us. Most of the local sports is on a standstill, a screeching halt. A lot of basketball coming your way, and we'll run down the schedule. There is hope that they can get those games in tomorrow. Everything's been scrapped again today, and understandably so. So,
I'm in trouble.
Mrs. V?
Yeah.
She
didn't like the stop sign issue.
Oh, yeah. in the garage.
Right. In my defense, though, I address that with her in a manly, calmly way.
Yes.
So, honey, we got to do this. We got to,
So. I've never known you to do anything in a calm, mannerly way. What was it she almost is? Like the dryer or a little extra refrigerator in the garage? What is it she gets very perilously close to?
We're stopping right here.
Come on.
You're not going to bait me, big guy. I'm sorry. Not going to happen.
So you got real close to what? Just tell me one thing.
No.
Because, see, the phone's already lit up over here. Mrs. V was not particularly happy at that, was she?
Oh, she's a good sport.
Yes, she is.
I love her to death. Been married 31 years in April.
Yeah.
So
you deserve.
I'll
give me
keep
some
her.
tater. That's awesome.
I'll keep her.
She is class. And let me just say, in all seriousness, the lady who can play the piano, ain't nobody I've ever heard can play the piano like Mrs. V. She can flat. Tickle the ivories, and of course she told us, well, okay. She's so humble, but am I right? Can she play?
Oh yeah, she's a good. She's been playing since 7, 8, 9. Something like that.
When you first met her, 7, 8 years old. Let's check in with Denny Hamlin, see what's going on. Of course, Denny, one of the guys, going to try and bring home the checkers Sunday, the Daytona 500. Again, as we were telling you, a lot of the local sports at a literal standstill given the weather. Denny Hamlin a year ago finished third in the points. The NASCAR sprint chase for the championship. Let's see. Will he be in that front? I think he'll be in the second group tonight. And let's see. Scanning. Yes, he'll roll off 24th in that second race of the duels tonight. In that will be, of course, Jimmy Johnson. By the way, I just got a nice text from Pete Tackett. Pete said, I played for him for the quiz show.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, of course, I went 3 for 5. He said, I don't know which is worse, going 3 for 5 or finding out you're a shrub fan, which means Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, but not a Busch, but a shrub fan. So that was great. So anyway, in that second lineup tonight, JJ, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle, Stenhouse Jr., Michael Waltrip, Rocket Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Danica Patrick, and Denny Hamlin. Some of the more notables going to be there in that second duel tonight. We'll let you know how things went tomorrow on the show. Got another text, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're out of the doghouse, but I'm not.
Oh, really? I'm out?
I don't know what I got to do.
I'm out, but you're in.
Yeah, well, it's all right. No, we'll make it. We'll take care of it.
Give me a bark. Give me one.
No.
Well, I'm out. I didn't know I was in. See, I wasn't aware I was in her doghouse. So, anyway, Mrs.
You're always in her doghouse.
That's true. That's true. That's usually I'll say something generally every time I see her, it kind of tweaks her a little bit. But you're right. She's a class lady, great lady. Denny Hamlin, what's it going to take? Let's see what he has to say. What's it going to take to win this Sunday at the Daytona 500?
I think, everyone says everyone has a shot here, but realistically, you have to have half sense to win these super speedway races, and it took me like 8 years to figure out how to win one. So, realistically, there's probably 20 guys that have the mental capacity to probably win the race. Not, anyone can do it if things work out perfectly for you, but if all 43 cars are still on the racetrack at the end of the race, 20 are smart enough to put themselves in the position to actually win the race, I believe.
So it's not the equipment or the engines that won't be upset. It's more the chess game.
It's more the chess game and figuring out how it all works than to win in these races than it is the equipment. I think it's a cliche that everyone says anyone can win here, and anyone can if it's just handed to you in your lap and everyone else crashes. But, if they don't, you've got to figure out you've got to be smarter than the rest of the guys.
It used to be full day here was a chance to kind of showcase the crew guys, how fast the car is. It was more what they did all winter, necessarily what the driver did. Now with this format, it's going to kind of all be about timing.
It is. It's going to be about timing, and you're liable to see a front row that you would never see on any other front row in any other NASCAR race, simply because you just don't know, how it's all going to work out. But, this group qualifying for the 500 is going to be extremely hard to figure out. No one figured it out at Talladega. It just was by chance that, some guys made time and other guys didn't, and hopefully everyone's a little bit smarter now because of it. But, really, your front row guys are just going to be the ones that get in a lucky spot and put themselves in a good spot, and hopefully the cars around them work with them.
And isn't it it's now a race to get into a race to get into the race?
Yeah, it is. It's a bunch of races. It really is. And I think now that single car qualifying is gone, you're probably going to see more wrecks in practice because people are going to be trying that strategy of running a fast lap and seeing what it takes to run that fast lap. So you're going to have guys running caution speed and real speed all on the same track in a green condition. I don't know. Somebody's going to make a mistake for sure.
Even we see somebody wad one up and qualify?
No question. I think it's definitely a possibility. They are breaking us up in two groups, which is at least, a little bit more reasonable, but, we'll find a way to mess up for sure.
Denny Hamlin again found a way to mess up. Clint Boyer did. He's still fuming about what happened over the weekend, so he'll be in the duels tonight. And, again, we talked about this all week long, the duels tonight. If you're Gordon or Johnson or any of these guys or Danica, last thing you want is to crash and run into those kind of situations, and so you want to avoid that at all costs. And so front row setting up tonight will be Gordon and Johnson. Has already been established, and everybody else is kind of just thrown into the heap and to see what happened, and so or see what happens. That'll be happening tonight. That'll be again at 7 o'clock. The duels, a 60-lap, 150-mile event for the duel number 1, and then come right back at duel number 2. And of course, by winning, how you did on the weekend qualifying for the pole, again, your first duel 1 front runner will be Jeff Gordon, and the second race obviously will be Jimmy Johnson. Those two will be on the front row.
And both those guys, common sense should dictate that they need to play it easy, let everybody else fight it out because they got their spots solid, okay? But they're race car drivers. It's in their blood, and
well, you heard Jeff Birchfield.
They're going to take the chance.
Absolutely.
They're going to take the chance.
Birchfield said it earlier. He said it's Jeff Gordon's his final go-around. These guys are competitors. They're not going to drive around there like a leisurely Sunday drive. They're going to have the pedal to the metal. They're going to be on it. And so we'll see how that goes. Again, tonight, we'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Again, a lot of local sports. Once our show's based around local sports and national, but once the weather clears and things get back to normal, we've got all kinds of local sports to talk about. Mainly the basketball tournaments have all been put on hold for the last 3 or 4 days, obviously because of the weather. They're hoping to gear those up tomorrow and Saturday. Again, you were telling me that we got some rain coming in here on Saturday and Sunday, so warmer temperatures. I would feel like they can get those games in maybe as early as tomorrow, but certainly Saturday looks like a circle the day on the calendar to get some basketball in. So we got high school baseball looming on the horizon. We got lots happening, and so right now everything's kind of put on hold. thus a lot of national sports today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow too. But as I said, once we get cranked up with the local sports scene, we'll be talking a lot of the different coaches from basketball rolling into baseball and softball and the spring sports. And, of course, NASCAR cranks up. We're going to be talking starting next week with the different folks at Bristol Motor Speedway getting ready for the big race coming up April the 19th. It's April, baby. And so all that. So, yes, we talk a lot of national sports, but we're going to be having a lot of local, regional sports as well. That's going to be the backbone of the show as we're in day number 9. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll check in with a local yokel of sorts, our buddy David Crum from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. You know, one of the sports we have in this region, and we're known around the world for our fly fishing. We're known around the world for our deer hunting and different outdoor activities. And so we'll check in with Crum about that. And he even told me today, as he gave me kind of the lineup to talk about, is the fact that we have folks out there that are probably fishing today. I just can't I can't get my arms around that. It's 4 degrees, wind chills, you know, in the
now I can understand
double
if you
digits.
live in Michigan and you want to go out on the Great Lakes and that's all you can do is ice fish.
Yeah.
But even them, they got shacks and little heaters, okay? But to be on a lake in a boat.
On a boat.
I'm sorry.
Now, how do you heat? I mean,
You don't.
Okay. You can't put one of those little propane.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you've got investment in a boat like I do, you're not going to take a chance.
Yeah, gotcha. And catching a boat on fire. Yeah.
Sorry.
What kind of? I guess I'll ask him. What kind of fish would be biting in this kind of weather?
Oh shoot, I don't smallmouth maybe.
Smallmouth bass. All right. I always just caught sunfish. That's all I could ever catch. Little tiny. What you call them on the side of the. Have I ever told you that story?
Bluegill and sunfish.
Bluegill, that's right. Bluegill and sunfish. Have I ever told you that?
No, you're gonna tell yourself again, aren't you?
It was so bad. My father went out. God rest his soul. Went out and bought all 3 boys little Zebco reels. You know.
Zebco, I remember them.
Remember those back in the day? And you had a little button on top of the, what's this thing called on the top?
What color was yours?
Black and white.
Black and white. Okay.
Yeah. What was the color? The Raiders. There you go, good girl. What's the little thing up on top? The little thing that the spool.
The spindle.
There you go. You hit the little button and cast. Zzz. Well, all right. So he goes out and buys a little red and white. What's those things you put on the line?
Bobbers.
Bobbers. Put bobbers.
You what?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take you out and show you how to fish.
Well, it was such a traumatic experience. I haven't been back since. I was in grade school. So we go out fishing, and he goes out and he got us all a little green metal tackle box with all these little different cheese, something. Little look like cheese eggs or something. I don't know.
All right, I know, yeah.
All right.
Just bait.
We're talking 35 years ago. So, anyway, we go out to the lake, and my older 2 brothers, bloop, you know, they're like, you know, perfecto. I'm out there mean what?
You're Charlie Brown, aren't you? You got it all over you.
Train wreck. So I'm on the bank. He said, well, I'm probably 3rd or 4th grade. I wasn't very old. He said, here's what you do. You hit that button, and you release it, and it goes out. And my brothers go, bloop, bloop. And they look over at me, you know, Forrest Gump. So I rear back, and best I could, those little skinny, bony arms, and I sling it. Well, it gets caught in a tree that's hanging over top of the bank. And so I'm like this. And so I finally snapped it the 3rd time and let go of it. Well, the hook goes back and catches my brother, my middle brother, in the back of the shirt, who's in front of me, because I walked back up the bank to try and get it.
Well, everybody uses their brother for bait.
Wait a minute, it gets better. So he's sitting in front of me, and I'm up there, and I'm trying to get it out of the tree, and it comes free. Zzz, boom, catch him right here in the back of the shirt, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, you know what happened then. He throws down his rod, and it's like,
it's on.
Tom! Oh, yeah.
It's on.
It's on. So we get in a fight on the side of the bank, and he's got me down a headlock, and he's pounding me, you know. And I look at my dad, and, of course, he just hammered me. My dad's like, should have known better. So then we roll into the river. We're down the side of the bank, into the river, wrestling, and then we all get whippings. Well, my other brother did, but he and I get whippings, get put in the car. We have to sit in the car, soaking wet, the rest of the fishing, another 15, 20 minutes. My father, he's whistling, and you boys having fun in the car, and we're in there crying and soaking wet, and I'm punching him, he's punching me, and my dad isn't looking. And so that was my first and only foray into fishing, and I said, man, I ain't doing it no more. I've been scarred. So, I mean, it was like the Three Stooges. You couldn't have timed anybody went like that, and it finally came out of the tree and caught him right here in the back of the shirt, and I started pulling the shirt. You know, I was reeling, and it was pulling his shirt, and he threw down his rod, and it was on, baby. So So I took a thrashing over fishing. I haven't been back since. So
you lived a sheltered life.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. It was on the hills of West Virginia, baby. That's good stuff there. So that's why I haven't been fishing since. Would you take me fishing sometime?
I'll take you.
All right. You think I can do any better casting? Is that what you call it?
I
Casting?
doubt it.
Great. All right. So
you can sit and watch.
Thank you. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We'll check in with David Crum, the TWRA, our Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. We thank you for being with us here on this Thursday, day 9 of our Fun and Frolic on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you can get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today. Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
By the way, if you want a good drink right here, I'm going to endorse one for you. The Diet A&W Root Beer, that is right there. That'll make your hair shiny. Drink that. It's good stuff. Love me some Diet A&W Root Beer. And need me a big old slaw dog, some chili on. I may go get me a slaw dog tonight. May just do that. Let's go to the phonies there, buddy. David Crum, the TWRA, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine, Tom. I'm getting hungry now that you mentioned the A&W Root Beer and a slaw dog. That's just kind of... You're just kind of being torturous to the big old fuzzy guy out here in the field right now.
That's redneck right there. A hot dog and root beer. That's good stuff, isn't it?
Yep, it sure is. Absolutely fantastic.
There you go.
It would be that would bring a nice warm feeling to help warm your bones up this time of day.
You got it. Coming up, we're going to check in with Ricky Stenhouse, Jr. Daytona. We're talking to David Crum from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. Your licenses are online and they're expiring soon. Tell me about that, would you please?
Yes, sir. The hunting and fishing licenses expire at the end of the month. The new hunting license should be, if they haven't already been downloaded, we have not been notified, and potentially the delay may be because of all the inclement weather. Actually, state offices were closed on Tuesday because of the inclement weather, but keep your eyes and ears open for the new license to be downloaded to the new machine and be available for folks. The hunting and fishing license should go on sale here very shortly. Once again, the 2014-2015 hunting license expire at the end of February. Be sure you go out and get a new license. This time of year is a really good time to go out and get these licenses. That way, you'll get it before the price change happens. So get them early.
So if you're out fishing today or any time between now and the end of February, you pull up and say, can I see the credentials or see your license? What should we have on our possession so we don't get in trouble?
Well, Tom, you should have a regular hunting and fishing license with you, and if you're out fishing in trout stock waters, you would need to have a trout stamp. Those regulations are published in the fishing guide. We do have some folks that are out there. We have had a few folks caught here lately that are fishing without a license and have never had a license before. These folks are out enjoying what the good Lord above provided for us here in East Tennessee. But remember, folks, these hunting and fishing dollars, as far as the licenses go, that is the bread and butter as far as the budget of Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. It's the only privately funded state agency in the state of Tennessee. We get no sales tax as far as from sales of groceries or anything like that. We do get a portion of taxes from the sale of non-consumptive items such as binoculars and ammunition and things of that nature. But we are basically, the funding comes from the sale of hunting and fishing license and the federal excise dollars given to us for that. So if you want to support Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, if you want to get out and outdoors and enjoy what we have available here for us, remember these dollars go into stocking fish. They go into the regulations and the management of our natural resources here in Tennessee. So if you'd like to support TWRA, go out and buy a hunting and fishing license.
We're talking to David Crum, our great friend from the TWRA. We've been together 10, 11 years doing this on a regular basis. Let's talk about the little person under 18 that wants to fish or hunt going forward later on this year. The weather gets a little better for fishing, although I guess folks are fishing out there this time of year. But a little bit later into the spring, you got someone under 18 that wants to fish or hunt. What must they have? They have to have a different type license?
Starting at age 16, they buy an adult license, but they do not have to have a license until they turn age 13. So prior to age 13, you do not have to have a hunting and fishing license, hunting or fishing license. But once you turn 13, you can get what's called a junior license, junior sportsman's license, for $8. For this $8 license, you can get a junior sportsman's license and end up going out and hunting and fishing just like other folks do on the total state sportsman's license with a $136 license. Once you turn 16, you start buying the adult license. So these are the different things that you need to look for when the regulations come out. And you can always go online to the website of tnwildlife.org. That's tnwildlife.org, and look up the regulations. If you have any questions, feel free to contact the regional office. Hopefully we can answer your questions.
We're talking to David Crum, the TWRA. Obviously, folks know in these parts the weather is bitterly cold right now. It's going to warm up. It's bitterly cold. And I was asking you earlier today, of course, we as humans need to stay in and bundle up best we can. The animals out there, I guess the good Lord has adapted these animals to survive in these kind of elements. This is not the first time I've ever had cold weather, obviously. So right now, what's out there? The deer, they can adapt to this. Bobcats, bear, what's out there right now that's adapting very well to the winter weather?
Well, Tom, all animals feel pain differently. Cold is actually perceived by the body as pain. So the animals do not perceive this type of pain like we do, but they do know that it's actually dangerous to be out and moving around in the super cold times. So what a lot of the animals do is they'll restrict their movement to daytime hours when it's a little bit warmer. And if they're huddled up somewhere or bedded down, they try to find, if they're not in a nest or in a den of some kind, they find, say, a downed log or a pine thicket or something of that nature, or just a nice good thicket to hold up in, to try to cut some of the wind off of it. Because it does affect the animals just like similar to the way it does us. But they have adapted over the years. You know, Tom, we talked about last fall about how the number of animals, the deer that were harvested, the amount of fat reserves that the deer had already built up at an early time of the year. And the bear hunters I talked to said the bears were super fat too. So a lot of times when they have these rough winters, the good Lord above provides for us, or provides for the animals also, and has provided a tremendous acorn crop. So the animals put on good fat reserves. The animals that do have fat reserves put on a really good fat reserve this year, and they can actually draw from that this time of year. Helps keep them insulated, and also gives them something to draw from as far as nutrients.
Great report as always. We're talking to David Crum, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Again, you have how many officers covering how many counties?
We've got 18 officers covering 10 counties.
Wow. Now, obviously, we've had a lot of snow here and ice. You guys and ladies have been able to get around in the woods and still doing your job for all intents and purposes despite the weather?
Yes, we have. We've been actually out, and we've been notified just in case, because there was a time, blizzard or two ago, where we were actually activated to take care of and transport some other folks around that were unable to get around as far as law enforcement and EMS goes, but we've been able to get around because of the specialized equipment that we're blessed to have, the four-wheel drive trucks. We also keep in mind, use a lot of common sense, because the roads are still hazardous, especially in the evening when things start freezing back over. Even in a four-wheel drive vehicle, it just means that you have more tires spinning on the ice.
Great.
Try to be careful.
There you go. Great report as always, my friend. As you do each and every week, leave us with that famous hook, would you please?
Remember, folks, get your kids hooked on hunting and fishing, and you don't have to worry as much about them getting hooked on other things. And safe boating saves lives.
Great report. Stay warm, my friend. I'll talk to you next Thursday, all right?
Thank you very much, Tom. Be sure you keep that big noggin covered.
All right. That's good. Take care. He always gets in one about my big noggin up here. He said, one time he said, take his hat off so you could sell billboard space on your forehead. I said, thank you, on your receding hairline, which it ain't receding all the way, is it? I'm not totally bald, am I?
No, but it's a big head. He's right on one point.
All right, great. We are in the middle of the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Thanks for being with us. We're going to check in with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming up here in a few minutes. Also going to check in with Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. Our show is dedicated, of course, to the good Lord, and our verse today, Psalm 73, 23 through 26. I am with you always. I will always be holding your hand. Wow, that's awesome. This is God telling us, the good Lord, I am with you always. I will always be holding your hand.
Yep.
I can stop right there. I mean, what more do you need to know? I will guide you with my counsel. There you go. If you lean on him, he'll show you how to get her done. Take you into my glory. I am the strength of your heart and your portion forever.
There you go.
I mean, what more do you need? I'm with you always. I'm always going to be holding your hand. I will guide you with my counsel, and I'll take you into glory once you pass away. I'm the strength of your heart and your portion forever. There you go. That's our verse of the day, Psalm 73. Verses 23, 24, 25, and 26. And our thought for the day, I love this, from Helen Keller. Brought to you by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, great friend of ours, 282-1389. And we'll get him on the show periodically, let him talk about his Nationwide Insurance. Who is now the spokesperson for Nationwide?
Peyton Manning.
There you go. Still haven't heard anything about him, by the way.
No, not a word.
Not another word about the Broncos.
I think that, again, I think no news is bad news.
You think it's bad news?
That's me.
That's
just me. Most people say no news is good news. But
the Horace,
more this is quiet, they're checking something out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So, or he's having second thoughts, or somebody's having second thoughts. So the longer it goes, I just think, without any news, any confirmation, that it could be a bad sign for the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning.
I think you're onto something, because why would he have not at this point? Because he met with the owner and John Elway, the general manager. Was it last week we talked about where he flew him out of New Orleans to Denver and met? And why hasn't somebody come out and said, hey, we've got it resolved, we're doing it? Maybe they're trying to hammer out a contract behind the scenes, but I'm thinking each day passes, it's because now they're in the combines.
Yep.
And maybe they'll draft Jameis Winston.
No, they better not. I will not be a Denver Bronco fan.
Yeah, there's your man Jameis, who has told him yesterday. Did he change his mind on that, by the way?
I don't know. The Bucs are keeping their mouth shut. I know that much.
See, and again, I used the analogy yesterday. The guy goes to the combines where you're supposed to, and for folks who don't know what the combines are, they put you through, running 50-yard dash, 60-yard dash, whatever they do. They test your throwing arm if you're a quarterback. They test your agility if you're a defensive linebacker.
Yep.
You go through all these tests. You get graded Then when the draft comes up here in a couple of months, folks get drafted to the teams based on how they kind of grade out on the combines. And that's a very general description of what happens. Well, my man, Jameis Winston from Florida State, shows up at the combine and says, I don't think I'm going to throw. well, then how do I evaluate you if you don't throw the football? And I don't know. I mean, I guess we're supposed to watch his film and what he did during the regular season.
He's playing hardball, and he's not even in.
Yeah.
He's not even drafted, and he's playing hardball.
But I told you yesterday, it's like me auditioning for Bristol Motor Speedway, and I go up there, and Jerry Caldwell says, all right, got 12 guys up here and 4 ladies. We're going to audition. I go, Mr. Caldwell, I'm not going to do that. What do you mean? I'm not going to audition. I'm not going to test drive around Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, that's what I'm there for. So why would Jameis Winston go into combines and say, oh, by the way, I'm not going to throw? And apparently the NFL says, well, okay. So that's what gets me. The tail's wagging the dog. Say, I'm sorry.
It's all about the money.
I know. You keep telling me that, and I think you're right. So anyway, the thought for the day, Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, went off on a tangent. 282-1389, your Nationwide Insurance agent here in the Tri-Cities. And you talking about a great guy. I'll hang my hat on Larry Kaiser any day of the week. He is class. The most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but has no vision. The most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but has no vision. Wow, that is awesome.
That's deep.
Yes. Is what?
Deep.
Do that. See, they can't see your jaw. It's like your whole face does a whole kind of do it again.
Deep.
Oh, we have too much fun on the show.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Oh, I love it. We have way too much fun on the show, but that's what it's all about. Yep. Don't take it too serious. Sports, by the way, is one spoke in the big wheel of life. Any more updates, non-sports, of course, about our Marines over there? They're under.
Haven't heard anything more.
Under the gun for ISIS said they're going to go get them, and they're
Believe
about 5 miles away.
I have not watched Fox News in over 24 hours.
There you go.
That's a record.
Yeah. So anyway, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of our military folks around the world, but the Marines are kind of sitting out there. Did you say like setting ducks in this base?
Oh, yeah, the base is out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no natural elements, no hills, no structures, no nothing to be defended.
And ISIS says we're coming at you, United States Marines, and of course our president today said that we are not in a war against Islam.
Don't get me started.
Oh, good grief! Anyway, vision is non-negotiable for anyone who wants to succeed. It is the blueprint on the inside of a leader before he ever sees the plan on the outside. That is awesome. It is the blueprint on the inside of a leader before he ever sees the plan on the outside. The thought for the day: the most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but has no vision. Has no dream. You just kind of, I heard Zig Ziglar say one time, why are you cruising to the only life you get? That's true. And why are you just kind of clicking off the days on the only life you get? You need to be busy and have a vision, have a dream. And so
there's too many people out there with no vision right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah. Living day to day.
Day to day on our nickel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom.
There you go.
Brought to you by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Coming up, we'll check in with Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse and also Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on who he thinks will win the Daytona 500 driving for Rouse Fenway Racing. Of course, obviously he wants to win it, but who does he think has a legitimate shot to win it this year coming up on Sunday? Those two gentlemen join us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home?
Oh, heck no. Or that you can get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again. Make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Also on YouTube now.
Yep.
Very easy to go and find us on YouTube and also iTunes and the Stitcher app. Now, I told some folks yesterday about the Stitcher app. They were a little
leery, weren't they?
Well, they never heard of that. So tell me about the Stitcher app.
Stitcher is basically for podcasts. Basically, I mean, that's what they specialize in. So you download the Stitcher app, and you can go into Stitcher and look for all kinds of different things, people podcasting and whatnot. Of course, the Tom Taylor Sports Show is right there. Just do the search, and you come up. You can subscribe to the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and every time a new one comes out, they'll be notified.
Just that easy.
That easy.
That easy. So let me run down again. Thanks to the Kingsport Times News. Let's see if we can run down. By the way, we're waiting on Bob to buzz us back, and apparently he is tied up at the shop today, and that's totally understandable because some folks are. It's been kind of fluctuating who's working, who's not working, who's open, who's not open because of the weather and the roads. But anyway, weather continues to be the dominant player in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia postseason basketball. Again, everything's been canceled again today, and so now they're going to try and play basketball. The AA girls and boys consolation championship games at Sullivan East are now set to be played tomorrow. Third place game between Unicoi County and Happy Valley taking place at 1 o'clock. Third place boys contest featuring Sullivan East and Unicoi County is set for 2:30. Elizabethton and Sullivan East will meet for the girls' District 1 AA championship at 4 o'clock. And the boys' championship between Elizabethton and the Sullivan South Rebels will be at 5:30. That's all happening tomorrow, again at the Dyer Dome at Sullivan East High School. And that's courtesy of the Kingsport Times News. I have to give them proper credit for the announcement. Let's see, what else? Scanning here. Oh, Conference 40 and Southwest Virginia. They've got basketball going on there tomorrow. Conference 40, the Gate City girls hosting Virginia High at 5 o'clock, followed by the Gate City boys and Lehigh at 6:30. And so also you have the Lee girls are at Union at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, followed by the Union boys hosting Wise Central at 7:30. And so all that going on tomorrow. And also earlier this week, if you missed it, we talked to who told us about this? Oh, Doug Fritz from John City Press. Earlier this week, the TSSAA and a preemptive strike against Mother Nature moved the girls' Region 1 AAA quarterfinals to Monday, the boys' quarterfinals on Tuesday. So, of course, the AA and the single A are still trying just to finish out the district tournament because they haven't got to that point yet to even establish a district champion in boys and girls in AA or single A. And we'll go ahead and go through the John City Press and see. Yep, they've set them for Friday as well. The single A, let's see, boys third place at 5:30. So let's back it up chronologically. 4 o'clock tomorrow at Daniel Boone High School. The single A, Cloudland and North Green girls third place game. Then you have the third place boys game, University High and North Green at 5:30. Then you have, this is all tomorrow night, the girls championship game, South Green and Hampton at 7 o'clock. And the boys championship game, South Green and Hampton at 8:30. So South Green's boys and girls both playing in the district championship. And so you have games all tomorrow, 4, 5:30, 7, and 8:30. That's happening, again, at the Bobby Snyder Gym at Daniel Boone High School in Gray. And, again, the AA, as we said, that'll be playing tomorrow. And they'll do those. Let's run through those one more time for you. Again, we're hitting you with a lot of numbers, but At 1 o'clock tomorrow, girls, Unicoi County Happy Valley at 1 o'clock at Sullivan East. Then you have the boys game, third place, Sullivan East, Unicoi County at 2:30. Girls championship game, the number one team in the state in AA, the defending state champ Elizabeth and Lady Cyclones will take on Sullivan East at 4 o'clock. And then the boys championship, the Sullivan South Rebels under Coach Mark Pendleton and the Elizabethton Cyclones will be at 5:30 tomorrow. And so we hope to talk to some of those coaches tomorrow. Again, a lot of our show in the last couple of days, by virtue of the snow and the wintry weather and everything's been put on hold, is a lot of a national scope. And that's okay, too, because we'll have national sports, but we're going to have a lot of local sports. Just haven't really had a chance to talk much about that. Although I do want to squeeze in, before we get into Ricky Stenhouse Jr., want to squeeze in a baseball note from East Tennessee State. Slugger second baseman Trey York received the Louisville Slugger National Player of the Week and the Southern Conference Player of the Week. Had 3 home runs last weekend in the shortened series because of the weather over Eastern Kentucky. He's a native of Knoxville, hit .714, went 5 for 7 in 3 games. 3 of the 5 hits were home runs, 3 homers, 5 runs, 6 RBIs. Had a slugging percentage of 2,000. That can't be right.
That can't be right.
2.000. That's not 2,000. Be a slugging percentage of 2, I guess. That makes no sense.
Yeah. You bat 1,000. I mean, that's 2,000.
Yeah, we can't do that. No, I didn't read this right, and I think there's a typo, quite frankly. But anyway, Knoxville native hit .714, went 5 for 7. 5 of those hits, 3 of those were long balls. Trey York from East Tennessee State, the Louisville Slugger National Player of the Week, and the Southern Conference Player of the Week. It's highlighted there. See if you can make any heads or tails of that before we go to Stenhouse.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's hard to believe they're playing baseball right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's cold out there.
You read it where I highlighted the?
Yeah.
Is it 2.000?
That says 2.000.
There you go.
No, sorry.
So I don't feel bad then. All right. So anyway, congratulations to Trey York. Again, young man who's the Louisville Slugger National Player of the Week and the Southern Conference Player of the Week, second baseman for the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. As promised, here's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to kind of wrap the show up here today. And again, Ricky Stenhouse driving for Roush Fenway Racing. He was asked who does he think will win the Daytona 500.
I think 43 are capable of winning, and I think that's what a lot of the fans enjoy about Daytona. I think, or Talladega for that matter. I think, I think you see it, throughout years past, different winners, getting to victory lane that normally wouldn't. Just being able to do that. We haven't got a win in the Sprint Cup Series, so you could put us on that list that could get your first win at a speedway. But it's just the style of racing that anybody can win, and it's frustrating for some of the guys that win all the time and have really fast cars, but it's just a product of this racing.
Are you like if Jimmy goes out or something like that and wins this race, you're like, dude, come on, you win on every other
Yeah, give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? It's like he's already won 2 here, I believe. So, but yeah, sometimes I feel like that goes through your mind a little bit of hey, let somebody else win. I mean, you got plenty of other opportunities to go win. But that being said, we all try to win at every single racetrack. But obviously, some guys are got a little bit better chances than others to win every week. But that kind of goes through your mind for sure at Daytona and these super speedways. That's funny. It goes through your mind. I've never had anybody ask me that, but that does go through your mind.
So it's sort of like you and Trevor sort of getting the band back together here in the Cup program. You guys are sort of coming forward maybe as the face of the organization. Is that exciting for you guys to do it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we're ready for it. I mean, it's kind of scary at the same time. I don't think Roush Fenway has kind of been not as dominant in the Sprint Cup Series the last 3-4 years, and felt really good on our nationwide side of things. The Xfinity Series, felt really good about that. But then coming over here to Cup, with the struggles that I've had and the team's had, and the organization, with Matt and Carl leaving, we still got Greg that's been at Roush his whole career, which is really good to have the experience. I think we look forward to the challenge, but we also are, I would say, a little bit, you almost get a little scared of it as well, as you feel like you're, somewhat responsible to get this thing helped turned around. Whether it be giving good feedback to Jack and to Robbie and Mark McCardle and Kevin Kidd to make the right changes in our race cars to get them running better. And when you run better, you turn the organization around. It's we got a lot of work to do. So we're looking forward to the task for sure.
Jack's not one to exert any pressure on you.
You know what? He's laid back here lately. I think he feels really good about the people that we have in place now. I think he's more relaxed with that, more at ease. He can be tough. I've seen him tough, and he expects the best. But he's the one that gave me the opportunity to come race stock cars, and allowed me to win 2 championships in the Nationwide Series. And I definitely feel like I owe him a lot to make sure that we get his Cup program back on the right track.
Ricky, as far as there's a big crop of young guys coming in, what's your best advice? You're not exactly an old guy.
No, not old at all. I feel like I've been doing it a while, but there's a lot of things that come in. I mean, you can come in and have a rookie season like Kyle had this year, and everything goes good, or you can have I felt like my rookie season was a decent season. It wasn't stellar, but it wasn't terrible. This year I felt like my season was terrible. So you just got to keep working hard and plugging away, and when you do have good cars, don't take them for granted, because it's tough to get those every week.
And as far as you probably started out as a young kid having fun racing, and now do you have the same kind of fun?
Yeah, you have fun when you get things right. It's frustrating a lot of times over this last year, getting your cars to be good. And so we've struggled with that. There's a few races that we had really good race cars, and we finished well with them, but those were few and far between. So I think those races remind you that you can do it and have fun doing it. But then when you have so many in a row that aren't as good as you want, then it's a little frustrating.
And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. again talking about getting down there and getting after it. He'll do that tonight at the Budweiser Duels. And wow, it's been a fast show. We are out of time. Want to say thanks to Bracken Asphalt Maintenance, Max Medicine Mart, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Vito's Italian Restaurant, Cherokee Barbershop. You'll be there today.
I'm going.
Getting ready to go and get your ears lowered and look pretty.
Yep.
Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance, Book Lovers Warehouse, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, and by Wells Fargo, and adding more each day. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours, for our 8 guests we've had today. Let's run those down for you. Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Jeff Birchfield, Tim Smith, American Import and Auto Repair, the Buzzer on the Quiz Show, Mark Willis and Better Barter, and David Crum, the TWRA, and my man Horace. This is Tom Taylor, the host of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And again, win or lose, be a good sport. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock right here. So long, everybody.